Screen. No screen. Thank you. Hi everybody, welcome back to my live stream. I am so happy to be with you. This is Jubilees chapter 16 verses what oh, I'm moving it. This is Jubilees chapter 16 verses yeah, yeah. This what I was about to say, this is gonna be like a long one. I have a feeling like this one's gonna be long. It's gonna be longer than the one we did last time. So let's get into it. Okay, Jubilees chapter 16. It says, on the new moon of the 4th month, we appeared unto Abraham at the oak of Moreh, and we talked with him, and we announced to him that a son would be given to him by Sarah his wife. And Sarah laughed, for she heard that we have spoken these words with Abraham, and we acknowledged her, and she became afraid and denied that she had laughed on account of the words. And we told her the name of her son, as his name is ordained and written in the heavenly tablets, Isaac. It said that when we returned to her at a set time, she would have conceived a son. And this month the Lord execute his judgment on Sodom, Gomorrah, and Zeboam, and all region of Jordan. And he burned them with fire and brimstone and destroyed them until this day, even as though I had declared unto thee all the works that they are wicked and sinners exceedingly, in that they defile themselves and committed fornications in their flesh and work uncleanness on the earth. And in like manner God will execute judgment on places where they have done according to the uncleanness of Sodomites, like unto the judgment of Sodom. Okay, now should we go to Jasher first or Enoch? Okay, we're gonna go to Jasher first. Okay, I really don't want to read all this. Okay, I'm gonna read all this. And the cities of Sodom, four judges to 4 cities, and these were their names: Sirach in the city of Sodom, Sharkad in Gomorrah, Zebonach in Ammon, and Minnow and Zebon. And Elzer, Abraham's servant, applied to them different names, and he converted Sirach to Sharak, and or whatever. No, skipping those names. And by desire of these their 4 judges, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah had beds asserted in the streets of the city. And if a man came to these places, they laid hold of him and brought him to one of their beds, and by force made him to lie in them. Is this sex? This is rape. Oh my god! Why the hell I didn't read that? Wow, this is rape. Okay, let's keep going. And as he laid down, 3 men would stand at his head and 3 at his feet, and measure him by the length of the bed. If the man was less than the bed, these 6 men, this is gang rape, these 6 men would stretch him at each end, and when he cried out to them, they would not answer. Oh hell no! And if he was longer than the bed, they would draw together the 2 sides of the bed at each end until the man had reached the gates of death. Oh my God! It says, and if he continued to cry out to them, they would answer him, saying, thus shall it be done to a man that cometh into our land. Ooh. And when men heard all these things that the people of the city of Sodom did, they refrained from coming there. And when a poor man came to their land, they would give him silver and gold, and cause a proclamation in the whole city not to give him a morsel of bread to eat. This is the reason why I wanted y'all to know about this part. This is the reason why God came down, to be honest. Not God, but this is the reason why the angels came down. Let me turn on this fan because I'm hot. Okay. Gotta turn on that fan because I was getting hot, y'all. I feel like every time when I do these lives, like, I get hot, like, really hot. And before I got up, I just saw 11:11. So, okay. It says, bread to eat. If the stranger shall remain there some days and die from hunger, not having been able to obtain a morsel of bread, then at his death all the people of the city will come and take their silver and gold which they have given to him. Bastards. And those that could recognize the silver and gold which they have given him took it back, and at his death they also stripped him of his garments, and they would fight about them, and he that prevailed over his neighbor took them. Hold on. For some odd reason that I can't really see my. Okay, so let's see where I'm at. It says I'm at 10. They will at they would after that carry him and bury him under some of the shrewd in the shrine in the desert. So they did all the days to anyone that came to them and died in the land. In the course of time, Sarah sent Elder to Sodom to see Lot and inquire after his welfare. And Elzer went to Sodom. He met a man of Sodom fighting with a stranger. And the man of Sodom stripped the poor man of all his clothes and went away. And this poor man cried to Elzer and supplicated his favor on account of what the man of Sodom had done to him. And he said to him, why doest thou act thus to the poor man who came to thy land? And the man of Sodom asked Elzer, saying, is this man thy brother, or have the people of Sodom made thee a judge this day, that thou speakest about this man? And Elder strove with the man of Sodom on account of the poor man. And when Elder approached to recover the poor man's clothes from the man of Sodom, he hastened and with a stone smote Elder in the forehead, and the blood flowed copiously from Elzer's forehead. And when the man saw the blood, he caught hold of Elzer, saying, give me my hire for having rid thee of this bad blood that was in thy forehead, for such is the custom in the land in our for such is the custom in the law in our land. Oh God. And Elzer said to him, thou hast wounded man and required me to pay thee thy hire. And Elzer would not hearken to the words of the man of Sodom. And the man laid hold to Elzer and brought him to Shekharah, the judge of Sodom, for judgment. And the man spoke to the judge, man, these judges was wicked as hell, and said, I beseech thee, my lord, thus has this man done, for I have smote him with a stone, that the blood flow from his forehead, and he is unwilling to give me my hire. And the judge said to Elzer, this man speak truth to thee. Give him his hire, for this is the custom in our land. And Elzer heard the words of the judge, and he lifted up a stone and smote the judge, and the smudge stuck on his forehead, and the blood flowed copiously from the forehead of the judge. And Elzer said, if this then is the custom in your land, give thou unto this man what I should have given him. For this has been thy decision, thou didst decree it. And Elzer left the man of Sodom with the judge, and he went away. That was smart. And when the kings of Layam had made war with the kings of Sodom, the kings of Layam captured all the property of Sodom, and they took Lot. Okay, did we go over this last week? Because I feel like we did. But you know what? We're going to have to keep reading, because the next part, that's where I want you to get. And they took Lot captive with his property. And it says that when he was told to Abraham, he went and made war with the kings of Lamb, and he recovered from their hands all the properties in Lot, as well as the property of Sodom. And at that time, the wife of Lot bare him a daughter. She was righteous. I like her. And he called her name Patilla, Patilla, but we're gonna call it Patilla, saying, because God has delivered him and his whole household from the king of Elam, and Patilla's daughter-in-law grew up, and one of the men of Sodom took her for a wife. Oh, okay. And a poor man came into the city to seek a maintenance, and he remained in the city some days. And all the people of Sodom caused a proclamation of their custom not to give this man a morsel of bread to eat until he dropped dead unto the earth, and they did so. And Patilla, the daughter-in-law, saw this man lying in the street, starved with hunger, and no one would give him anything to keep him alive. And he was just upon the point of death. And her soul was filled with pity on account of the man, and she fed him secretly with bread for many days. And the soul of this man was revived. Such a great deed. And when he went forth to fetch water, when she went forth to fetch water, she would put the bread in the water pitcher. When she came to the place where the poor man was, she took the bread from the pitcher and gave it to him to eat. So she did many days. All the people of Sodom and Gomorrah wondered how this man could bear starvation for many days. And they said to each other, this could only be that he eateth and drinketh. He eats and drinks. For no man could bear starvation for so many days, or live as this man has, without even his countenance changing. And 3 men concealed themselves in a place where the poor man was stationed, to know who it was that brought him bread to eat. And Partilla, daughter-in-law, went forth that day to fetch water. And she put bread into her pitcher of water, and went to draw water by the poor man's place. And she took out the bread from the pitcher, and gave it to the poor man, and he ate it. And the 3 men saw that Patilla did it to the poor man, and they said to her, it is thou, then, who has supported him, and therefore has not starved, nor changed his appearance, nor died like the rest. And the 3 men went out of the place in which he was concealed, and they seized Patilla and the bread which was in the poor man's hand. And they took Patilla and brought her before their judges, and they said to them, thus did she do. Since y'all can't see my tatas, I'm gonna take this off. It said, thus did she do, and it is she who supplied to the poor man with bread. Therefore did he not die all this time. Now therefore declare to us the punishment due to this woman for having transgressed our law. And the people of Sodom and Gomorrah assembled and kindled a fire in the streets of the city, and took the woman, cast her into the fire, and she was burned to ashes. Here's another woman. It says, in the city of Amara, there was a woman to whom they did the like. For a traveler came in the city of Amara to abide there all night, with the intention of going home in the morning. And he sat opposite the door of the house of the young woman's father, to remain there. As the sun had set when he had reached that place, the young woman saw him sitting by the door of the house. And he asked her for a drink of water. She said, who art thou? And he said, I was this day going on the road, and reached here when the sun set. So I will abide here all night. In the morning I will arise early and continue my journey. And the young woman went into the house, and fetched the man bread and water to eat and drink. And this affair became known to the people of Mar, and they assembled and brought the young woman before the judges, that they should judge her for this act. And the judge said, the judgment of death must place upon this woman, because she transgressed our law, and this therefore is the decision concerning her. And the people of those cities assembled and brought out the young woman, and anointed her with honey from head to foot, as the judge has decreed. And they placed her before a swarm of bees, which were then in their hives. And the bees fell upon her and stung her, that her whole body was swelled. And the young woman cried out on account of bees, but no one took notice of her or pitied her, and her cries ascended into heaven. And the Lord was provoked at this, and at all the works of the cities of Sodom, for they had abundance of food, and had tranquil among them, and still would not sustain the poor and the needy. In those days, in those days, their evil doings and sins became great before the Lord. Now, what we read in Jubilees, it says, and the Lord sent two of the and the Lord sent for two of the angels that had come to Abraham's house to destroy Sodom and its cities. Okay, okay. We read Jasher. We're gonna keep Jasher up because I don't know where else in Jasher I had to look. I had to like search stuff. Okay, let's see. We still on Sodom. Let's see. Is this my Enoch book? This is my Enoch book. This is my Enoch book. Let's see. Okay, so where was the first one? Second Enoch. Second Enoch and what? I don't know. First? Yeah, that's me. Second Enoch. What? Oh, shit. Oh, I found it. That's where I found it. Okay. I don't like how this one puts it. Okay, so read verse 3 at 10. And those men said to me, this place, O Enoch, is prepared for those who dishonor God, who on earth practice sin against nature, which is child corruption after the sodomistic fashion. Okay, let's see. Now, this is what I got in my second Enoch right here. So, it says, and I say, whoa, whoa, how very frightful this place is. And those men said to me, this place, Enoch, has been prepared for those who did not glorify God, who practice on the earth the sin which is against nature, which is child corruption, in, in the anus, in the manner of Sodom. So basically, sodomy is basically Anal sex in the anus. Yeah, in the anus. So this one, it don't say in the anus. It just says sodomistic fashion. So yeah. So I'll advise you guys, never really trust anything on the internet. Always make sure you get the actual books. One day, like when I get like a proper tripod, I will show this to you again. I will literally show it to you because proof is like the best, and I love proof. So if you just now join me, sodomy, that that is that what was it? Sodomy, that's anal sex. And it says it in Enoch as well. And sometimes it then also says child corruption, but it also can sodomy can be homosexuality too, and we will get into that as well. Do I have all the Bibles? Do I have everything in this? I probably had to go to my other one. I probably would, but I like to show my. Oh hell no! I would like to show them too. So. Whoa! That's a lot. Okay, let's begin to it. Okay, is this testimony? Okay, perfect. How about this? Okay, where I see it, I see that one, and okay, let's go back to here. So we got Enoch out the way. Okay, that's second Enoch. Oh, that's the slavatory. Okay. Oh, okay. That's another. Okay, okay, hold on. Second Enoch. Okay, so that's that one. Do we got another Enoch in here? No, we don't. Mm. No, we don't got another Enoch. Not in this one. Okay, so let's go to. Is it okay? Third. Okay, okay. Let's see. Let's pull. What's this one? Let's pull that up. Hold on. I'm gonna put my book down. Let's go. Okay, how you spell that? Might as well just copy and paste. Copy. Okay, yeah, I already told you guys like it will be long. Ooh, man, this goes so hard. It really do. Let's go back. Okay, where's the chapter? Page. I don't know what we're looking for. I really don't know. Oh, this is really gonna make me mad. I really hate this. Well, this might be the first book or something. Right, this has to be. But let's go back to this one. Hmm. It's good. Okay, this has been okay. I am not gonna search for this. So I guess we gotta read it on this website. So yeah, all forms of sexual about homosexuality right here. Yeah, it's in the introduction. You know what? I'll just read it to you guys. In here, it says in the introduction. Um, I got it. It says it's in the introduction. Hmm. Oh, I definitely can't find it. I really couldn't. So now this is all about homosexuality. This right here, I researched it. This is pedophilia. Now, this still speaks against pedophilia. Let me find this one. Let me find this one. It says 1V. Is that 4? I think that's 4. Is it book 4? Is it book 4? Oh, I found something. It's I think I found. I actually found something in book 4. Okay, let's go. I guess we looked that up again. Book 4. Oh, it's 25. Okay, I found it. I hated how the internet works. It said, let's go to 4. Okay, it says, have they nor vile and hateful lust of males, their manner pious in character. This is okay. Now this is what it. Okay, it says neither have they this great desire for another spouse. This is talking about the righteous. And it says or a hateful and re- repulsive abuse of males. That's what I have in mind. So we got this one. So we can go to book 3. That's book 4. We can go to book 3. Um, 597. Okay, I got it. I got the male children with this one. So let's go up for the book 3. Now this is like really long, so I'm gonna scroll all the way down. What was it? Where were we at? 590 something. Okay. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Are you like? Since I want the book. Okay, my book 3. It says what this one. This says 590. What's that? It says they are mindful of holy wedlock and did not engage in pious intercourse with male children. So we had 3. So let's go to book number 2. Okay, we still in 3. Yeah. Let's go to book 2. Maybe I can find the next one. Book 2. We're gonna go to book 2. Wait, this is 3. Book two. We're book two? Oh, yeah, this is book two. Book two what? 73? 73. Okay, it says, never accept in your hand a gift which derives from unjust deeds. Do not steal seeds. Whoever takes from himself is a curse to generation of generation, to scattering of life. Do not practice homosexuality. Do not betray information. Do not murder. Give one who has labored his wage, and do not press a poor man. Okay, we got this book two. Maybe we probably could find book one. So this must be book one, I think. But it's not. Oh, page. Where's my page? It says page 323. Maybe we probably could find it. I don't know. Page 323. Okay, I got page 323. Okay. Actually, I found it. Yeah, this basically is an introduction. It says all forms of sexual offense are condemned, but special reproach is poured on homosexuality. It should be noted that sexual, whatever that word is, this word right here, a user are not inspired by blame, but rather by a concern for natural laws. I'm gonna highlight that. I'm gonna flip that page over. I'm gonna flip that page over because I need that in my one series. So we actually found those. We found those. We found that. And we found that. But we did not find that. I don't know why I flipped it over. Let's see if we can find with you. Okay, so did I tell you about in Enoch? Did I show you with Enoch? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, my bad. Let's read the testimony of Jacob. The testimony and Jacob. This is the 12 patriarchs. This is the 12 patriarchs. I got testimony of Job in this one too. Where's the third one? Testimony of Abraham. Oh, there's Isaac. There's testimony. There's Isaac. I just got an Isaac right now. This is gonna be Jacob. Jacob. I hope I can find it though. Okay. Actually, I found it. It says, okay, let's see. We're gonna get you out of here. Testimony. Jacob. Oops, spell his name wrong. Jacob online. Online. Let's see. Testimony of Jacob. I want Levi. Well, we're gonna do this one. They gave me. They really. Okay, well, I guess you can't really see it, so I guess I will read it to you. Let's go back to Jubilees. Okay, I'm gonna read it to you in Testimony of Jacob. Let's see. I think we had 5, and it says, "And behold, there approached numerous tormentors, differing in their aspects. They were prepared to torment the sinners who are these: adulterers, male and female, those lusted after males, the vicious who degrade the semen given by God, the astrologer, the sorcerer, the evildoer, and the worshipper of idols." Wait, I think I didn't find it. Hold on. Or maybe I did find it. I have no idea. Oh, I did find it. But that last person who committed outrage and had sexual intercourse with males. Or did I miss it? No, I did not miss it. Actually, I feel like they added that part in. Yeah, it is. Okay, so we got to deal with sodomy. We're going to keep that up for a minute. Okay, so we can get rid of Enoch. We can get rid of that one. Um, we won't be. We still gonna be reading out of Joshua, but not at this time. Not right now. I'm gonna stop right there. Okay, so let's see if we gonna get back into it. It said in this month, Abraham moved from Hebron and the part and dwelled between Kedesh and Shinar and the mountain of Gerar. In the middle of the 5th month, he moved from hence and dwelt at the well of Hope. In the middle of the 6th month, the Lord visited Sarah and did unto her as he had spoken. She conceived, and she bare a son in the 3rd month, and in the middle of the month, at the time in which the Lord had spoken to Abraham, on the festival of the first fruit of harvest, Isaac was born. And Abraham circumcised his son on the 8th day, and was the first that was circumcised according to the covenant which is ordained forever. In the 6th year of the 4th week, we came to Abraham to the well of earth, and we appeared unto him, as we have told Sarah that we should return to her, and she would have conceived a son. And we returned in the 7th month and found Sarah with child before us. And we blessed him, and we announced to him all the things which had been decreed concerning him, that he should not die till he should beget 6 sons more, and should see them before he died, but that in Isaac shall his name and seed be called, and that all the seed of his son shall be Gentiles, and be reckoned with the Gentiles. For from the sons of Isaac one shall become a holy seed, and shall not be reckoned among the Gentiles. For he shall become the portion of the Most High, and all his seed has fallen into the possession of God, that he shall be unto the Lord a people for his possession above all the nations. It shall be become a kingdom and priests in the holy nation. This is the Israelites. And we went our way, and we announced to Sarah all that we had told him, and they both rejoiced with exceeding joy, great joy. And he built there an altar to the Lord, who has delivered him, and who was making him rejoice in the land of his sojourning. And he celebrated a festival of joy in this month 7 days, near the altar which he has built at the well of oak. And he built booths for himself, this is tabernacle, and for his servant on this festival. He was the first to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles on the earth. And during these 7 days he brought each day to the altar a burnt offering to the Lord, 2 ox, 2 rams, 7 sheep, 1 he-goat, for a sin offering, that he might atone thereby for himself and for his seed. And as a thanks offering, 7 rams, 7 kids, 7 sheep, 7 he-goats, and their fruit offerings and their drink offering. He burnt all the fat thereof on an offering, a chosen offering unto the Lord, for a sweet smelling savor. Man, when I be thinking about these offerings, it made me think that, like, a long time ago, it made me think that God ate the offerings. I don't think that no more. And morning and evening he burnt fragrant substance, frankincense, garbants, whatever, myrrh, spices, and crumbs. All these 7 he offered crushed, mixed together in equal parts and pure. And he celebrated this feast during 7 days, rejoicing with all his heart and with all his soul, he and all those who were in his house. There was no stranger with him, nor any that was uncircumcised. And he blessed his Creator, who had created him and his generation. For he hath created him according to his good pleasure. For he knew and perceived that from him would arise the plant of righteousness for eternal generation, for him a holy seed, so it should become like him who has made all things. And he blessed and rejoiced, and he called the name of this festival the feast of the Lord, or joy acceptable to the Most High God. And we blessed him forever, and all his seed after him throughout all generations of the earth, because he has celebrated this festival and its season according to the testimony of the heavenly tablets. It says, for this reason it is ordained on the heavenly tablet concerning Israel, that they should celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days with joy in 7 months. In the 7th month, acceptable before the Lord, a statute forever throughout their generation every year. And to this there is no limit of days, for it is ordained forever according regarding Israel, that they should celebrate it and dwell in booths, tents, and set wreaths upon their head, and take leafy broth and willows from their brook. And Abraham took branches of palm trees and fruits of goodly trees, and every day going around the altar with branches 7 times a day. In the middle, he prays and thanks to his God for all the things in joy. 17. In the first year of the 5th week, Isaac was winning this jubilee, and Abraham made a great banquet in the 3rd month on the day his son Isaac was weaned. I said 19. It might be 18, y'all. but I don't know. Okay, it might be 18, y'all. I don't know. This is gonna be a long live. This really is. So let's check. Let's see how good are we on time. Oh, that's not bad. I don't know. It says Ishmael the son of Hagar the Egyptian was before the face of Abraham his father in his place, and Abraham rejoiced and blessed God because he had seen his son and had not died childless. He remembered the words which he had spoken to him on the day on which Lot had parted from him. And he has rejoiced because the Lord has given him seed upon the earth to inherit the earth. He blessed with all his mouth the creator of all things. And Sarah saw Ishmael playing and dancing, and Abraham rejoicing with great joy. And she became jealous of Ishmael and said to Abraham, that's kind of fucked up, because we know in Genesis, uh, Ishmael was making fun of Isaac. Listen, cast this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman will not be heir with the son of Isaac. Now listen to me. Let's go. We're gonna go to Bible Gateway. Let's go to Genesis. Give me King James, please. Let's see Genesis. Let's go to 16. 16, please. See, and Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she has born unto Abram, mocking. Right there. What is Jubilees talking about? And, and and the thing was grievous in Abraham's sight because of his maidservant and because of his son, and that he should drive them from him. And God said, Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the child, and because of the bondwoman. And all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken to her words and do them. For in Isaac shall thy name and seed be called. But as for the son of this bondwoman, I will make him a great nation, because he is of thy seed. And Abraham rose early in the morning and took bread and water, took bread and a bottle of water, and placed them on the shoulder of Hagar and the child, and sent her away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba, and the water in the bottle was spent, and the child thirsted and was not able to go on, and fell down. And his mother took him and cast him under an olive tree, and went and sat her down over against him at the distance of a bow shot, for she said, let me not see the death of my child. And as she sat, she wept. And the angel of God, one of the holy ones, said unto her, why weepest thou, Hagar? Arise, take the child, and hold him in thy hand, for God has heard thy voice, and has sent the child. And he opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. And she went and filled her bottle with water, and she gave her child to drink. And she arose and went towards the wilderness of Haran. And the child grew and became an archer. And God was with him. And his mother took him a wife from amongst the daughter of Egypt. Ham. Okay. And she bare him a son, and he called his. Ooh. Okay. Okay. And gave his name whatever in, for she said, the Lord was nigh to me when I called upon him. It said, it came to pass in the 7th week, in the first year thereof, in the first month in this Jubilee, on the 12th of this month, there were voices in heaven regarding Abraham, that he was faithful in all that he told him, and that he loved the Lord, and that in every affliction he was faithful. And the prince Mashama, I think this is Satan, came and said before God, behold, Abraham loved Isaac his son, and he delights in him above all things else. Bid him offer him as a burnt offering on the altar, and thou wilt see if he will do this command. And thou wilt know if he is faithful in everything wherewith thou doest try him. And the Lord knew Abraham was faithful in all his affliction, for he has tried him through his country, and with famine, and he tried him with the wealth of the king, and he tried him again through his wife, and when she was torn from him and was circumcision, and he had tried him through Ishmael and Hagar, his maidservant, and when he sent him away. And everything wherein he has tried him, he was found faithful, and his soul was not patient, he was not slow to act. He was faithful and a lover of the Lord. 18. Should we read it? Okay, let's go to Joshua one bit. I really want to read this. I want to read this chapter. Okay. Let's go to the book of Joshua, chapter 21. It was that time at the end of the year, 4th month, of Abraham dwelling in the land of the Philistines, and Gerar, and God visited Sarah, and the Lord remembered her, and she conceived and bare a son. Okay, you know what? We already know this, so we are going to skip down. We know about the great feast, and he sent her away. Yada, yada, yada. We know this is like redundant information. Oh, but listen to this one. Listen to how Joshua puts it right here. It says, Ishmael came to Isaac and seated him opposite him. He took the bow and drew it and put the arrow in it, intended to slay Isaac. And Sarah saw the act which Ishmael desired to do to her son, and it grieved her exceedingly on the account of her son. And she sent forth Abraham and said, cast out this bondwoman her son, for her son shall not be heir with my son, for thus did he seek to do unto him this day. I remember reading that. Okay, now we're going to go to Ishmael's wife. And 23. And Abraham rode upon one of his camels to the wilderness to seek his son Ishmael. But he had heard that he was dwelling in a tent in the wilderness with all belonging to him. And Abraham went to the wilderness, and he reached the tent of Ishmael about noon. And he asked after Ishmael. He found the wife of Ishmael sitting in the tent with her children. And Ishmael, her husband, and his mother were not with them. And Abraham asked the wife of Ishmael, saying, where has Ishmael gone? And she said, he hath gone to the field to hunt. And Abraham was still mounted upon the camel, for he would not get off to the ground, as he had sworn to his wife Sarah that he would not get off from the camel. And Abraham said to Ishmael's wife, "My daughter, give me a little water that I may drink, for I am fatigued from the journey." And Ishmael's wife answered and said to Abraham, "We had neither water nor bread." And she continued sitting in the tent and did not notice Abraham. Neither did she ask him who he was. But she was beating her children in the tent, and she was cursing them. And she also cursed her husband Ishmael and reproached him. And Abraham heard the words of Ishmael's wife to her children. He was very angry and displeased. And Abraham called to the woman to come out to the tent from. It says that Abraham called to the woman to come out to the tent, come come out to him from the tent. And the woman came and stood opposite to Abraham, for Abraham was still mounted upon the camel. And Abraham said to Ishmael's wife, "When thy husband Ishmael returned home, say these words to him." Man, Abraham was so wise. "A very old man from the land of Philistines came hither to seek thee, and thus with his appearance and figure. I did not ask him who he was, and seeing thou was not here, he spoke unto me and said, When Ishmael thy husband returned, tell him, Thus did this man say, When thou comest home, put away this nail of the tent which thou hast placed here, and put another nail in his stead." It said, and Abraham finished an instruction to the woman. He turned and went off on the camel homeward. And after Ishmael came from the chase, he and his mother returned to the tent, and his wife spoke these words to him: "A very old man from the land of Philistines came to seek thee. Thus was his appearance and figure. I did not ask him who he was, and seeing thou was not at home, he said to me, when thy husband come home, tell him, Thus says the old man, Put away the nail of the tent which thou hast placed here, and place another nail in its stead." Ishmael heard the words of his wife, and he knew it was his father, and that his wife did not honor him. Ishmael understood his father's word that he had spoken to his wife. Ishmael hearkened to the voice of his father, and Ishmael cast off that woman and went away. Oh yeah, he got another wife. And Ishmael afterwards went to the land of Canaan. He took another wife and brought her to his tent, to the place where he then dwelled. And at the end of the third year, Abram said, "I will go again and seek Ishmael my son, for I have not seen him for a long time." And he rode upon his camel and went to the wilderness, and he reached the tent of Ishmael about noon. And he asked Ishmael, and his wife came out of the tent and said, "He is not here, my lord, for he has gone to hunt in the field, and to feed the camels." And the woman said to Abraham, "Turn in, my lord, into the tent, eat a morsel of bread, for thy soul must be weary on account of the journey." And Abraham said to her, "I will not stop, for I am in haste to continue my journey. But give me a little water to drink, for I am thirsty." And the woman hastened and ran into the tent. She brought out water and bread to Abraham, which she placed before him, and she urged him to eat. And he ate and drank, and his heart was comforted, and he blessed his son Ishmael. And he finished his meal and blessed the Lord. And he said to Ishmael's wife, "When Ishmael cometh home, say these words to him: A very old man from the land of Philistines came hither and asked after thee, and thou wast not here. I brought him out bread and water, and he ate and drank, and his heart was comforted. And he spoke these words to me: When Ishmael thy husband cometh home, say unto him, The nail of the tent which thou hast is very good. Do not put it away from the tent." And Abraham finished commanding the woman, and he rode off to his house home to the land of Philistines. And when Ishmael came to his tent, his wife went forth to meet him with joy and a cheerful heart. And she said to him, An old man came here from the land of Philistine, and thus was his appearance. And he answered after thee, and thou wast not here. So I brought out bread and water. He ate and drank, and his heart was comforted. He spoke these words to me, When Ishmael thy husband come home, say to him, The nail of the tent which thou hast is very good. Do not put it away from the tent. And Ishmael knew that it was his father, and that his wife has honored him, and the Lord blessed Ishmael. Where is that phone of mine? Oh, right here. Yeah, I got that. I'm searching for the devil. Wait. What? I think I put it in my chapter. I think I did. Nope, I did. Is it chapter 21? Nope. Oh, found it. It was 22. Okay, so we read. What was it? So we didn't read this yet. So this is basically like the sacrifice. So let's. Oh wait, shit. Let's go to Joshua 46. And the days arrived when the sons of God came and placed themselves before the Lord. And Satan also came with the sons of God before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, from walking up and down in it. He's so goddamn stupid. And the Lord said, like, what is Satan looking for? Like, what are you looking for? Just walking, just unbothered. It says, the Lord said unto Satan, What is thy word to me concerning all the children of the earth? And Satan answered the Lord and said, I have seen all the children of earth who have served thee, and remember thee when thou requirest anything from thee. And when thou givest them the thing which thou required from thee, they sit at ease and forsaking thee, and they remember thee no more. Hast thou seen Abraham the son of Terah, who at first had no children, and he served thee and extracted, whatever that word is, unto thee where he came, he brought up offerings unto thee, and he proclaimed thy name continually to all the children of men. And now that his son Isaac is born to them, he has forsaken thee. He has made a great feast from all inhabitants of the land, and the Lord he has forgotten. For amidst all that he has done, he brought thee no offering, neither burnt offering, nor peace offering, neither ox, lamb, or goat of all that he has killed on the day that his son was weaned. Even from the time of his son's birth till now, being 37 years, he built no altar before thee, nor brought any offering to thee, for he saw that thou didst give what he required before thee, and he therefore forsook thee. And the Lord said to Satan, Hast thou thus considered my servant Abraham? For there is none like him upon earth, a perfect and an upright man before me, one that fears God and avoid evil, as I live, which I to say unto him, Bring up Isaac thy son before me. He would not withhold him from me, much more if I told him to bring up a burnt offering before me from his flocks or herd. I said herbs, right. And Satan answered the Lord and said, Speak then now unto Abraham, as thou hast said, and thou wilt see whether he will not this day transgress and cast aside thy word. Okay, so in Joshua, I want y'all to see what Satan dupes. Oh my God. I want. Oh man, this is gonna be the kicker in Joshua. Let's see. Hold on. We're gonna go back and forth. And God said to him, Abraham, and Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am. He said, Take thy beloved son, whom thou love, even Isaac, and go unto the high country, and offer him on one of the mountains which I will point out unto thee. Actually, I think it's in Jasher. He literally pointed out, like seriously. And he rose early in the morning and saddled his ass, and took his 2 young men with him, and Isaac his son clave the wood of the burnt offering. He went to the place on the 3rd day. He saw the place afar off. He came to a well of water, and said to his young men, Abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad shall go yonder, and when we have worship, we shall come again to you. We'll stop here. We are going to go back to Joshua. Okay, so here I am. So, okay. Now we're going to read 2. He said to him, Take now thy son, thy own son whom thou lovest, even Isaac, go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering unto one of the mountains which shall be shown to thee. For there will be thou see a cloud and the glory of the Lord. Man, God wasn't lying. And Abraham said within himself, How shall I separate my son Isaac from Sarah his mother, in order to bring him up for a burnt offering before the Lord? He lied. And Abraham came into the tent and sat before Sarah his wife, and he spoke these words to her. My son Isaac is grown up, and he has not for some time studied the service of his God. Now tomorrow I will go and bring him to Shem, and Eber his son, and there he will learn the ways of the Lord, for they will teach him to know the Lord, as well as to know that when he prays continually before the Lord, he will answer him. Therefore there he will know the way of serving the Lord his God. Maybe this book will tell us some interesting things about Isaac, because in the Torah, Isaac is born. Like seriously. Like it's like really short with Isaac. Like it really is. Jacob is long, Abraham is long, but Isaac it's like really short. It says, Sarah said, Thou hast spoken well. Go, my Lord, and do unto him as thou hast said, but remove him not at a great distance from me, neither let him remain there too long, for my soul is bound within his soul. What does that mean? And Abraham said unto Sarah, My daughter, let us pray to the Lord our God, that he may do good with us. And Sarah took her son Isaac. He born all night with her, and she kissed and embraced him, and gave him instruction till morning. And she said to him, O my son, how can my soul separate itself from thee? And she still kissed him, embraced him, and she gave Abraham instruction concerning him. And Sarah said to Abraham, O my Lord, I pray thee, take hence of thy son, and place thine eyes over him, for I have no other son nor daughters but him. Oh, forsake him not. If he be hungry, give him bread. If he be thirsty, give him water to drink. Do not let him go on foot, just like a mother. Neither let him sit in the sun. Neither let him go by himself in the road. Neither force him from whatever he may desire, but do unto him as he may say to thee. And Sarah wept bitterly the whole night on account of Isaac, and she gave him instructions till morning. It says, In the morning Sarah selected a very fine and beautiful garment from those garments which she had in the house that Lamish has given her. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here. Do y'all want me to do a study on Joshua? Maybe I might go do it next. But do y'all want me to do like a whole Bible study on Joshua as well? Let me know in the comment section below if you watching the relive of this, or let me know in the live chat. I will be checking. It said, okay, now let's continue on. It said, and he dressed Isaac her son therewith, and she put a turban upon his head, and he enclosed a precious stone in the top of his turban. And she gave them provisions for the road, and they went forth, and Isaac went with his father Abraham, and some of his servants accompanied them to see them off the road. And Sarah went out with them, and she accompanied them upon the road to see them off. And they said to her, return to the tent. And when Sarah heard the words of her son Isaac, she wept bitterly. And Abraham, her husband, went with her, and their son went with them, a great weeping. Also, those who went with them wept greatly. I didn't know he was still alive. And they still and they still weep together, Abraham, Sarah, and Isaac. All those that accompanied them on the road wept with them. Sarah afterwards turned away from her son, weeping bitterly, and all her manservants and maidservants returned with her to the tent. Abraham with Abraham went with Isaac, his son, to bring him up and honor him before the Lord, as he commanded him. Abraham took two of his young men with him, Ishmael the son of Hagar, and Eliezer his servant, and they went together with them. And when did Ishmael come with this? And while they were walking in the road, the young man spoke these words to himself. Ishmael said to Eliezer, now my father Abraham is going with Isaac to bring him up for a burnt offering to the Lord, as he commanded him. Now when he returns, he will give unto me all that he possesses to inheritance after him, for I am his firstborn. Here comes Satan. It's Eliezer answered. Ishmael says, surely Abraham did cast thee away with thy mother, and swear, and swear that thou shalt not hear anything of all he possesses, to whom will he give all that he has, but with all his treasures. But unto me his servant, who have been faithful in his house, who has served him night and day, and have done all that he has desired. To me will he bequeath at his death that all that he possesses. And while Abraham was proceeding with his son Isaac along the road, Satan came and appeared to Abraham in the figure of a very aged man, humble and contrived. And he approached Abraham and said unto him, art thou silly or brutish, that thou goest to do this thing this day to thy own son? Man, I love Abraham. Man, okay, I want y'all to catch the tea. Abraham is such a G. Satan is such a punk. Anyway, okay. Not right now. This gonna get me excited, but not right now. It says thou goest to do this thing this day to thy own son. For God gave thee a son in thy lattest days, in thy old age. And wilt thou go and slaughter him this day, because he committed no violence? Has thy caused the soul of thy only son to perish from the earth? Doest thou not know and understand that this thing cannot be from the Lord? For the Lord cannot do unto a man such evil upon the earth, to say to him, go slaughter thy child. And Abraham heard this. He knew that it was the words of Satan, who endeavored to draw him aside from the ways of the Lord. But Abraham would not hearken to the voice of Satan. And Abraham rebuked him so that he went away. You just gotta rebuke the devil. But this is not the kicker. Not yet. This is not I'm gonna get excited. Now this is not the exciting part. Now Satan said he went down the line. He went from Abraham, who he go to, and he approached Isaac and said unto him, do thou know and understand that thy old silly father bring thee to slaughter this day for naught? Now therefore, my son, do not listen nor attend to him, for he is a silly old man. Let not thy precious soul and beautiful figure be lost from the earth. Here we go. And Isaac heard this and said unto Abraham, Hast thou heard, my father, what that which this man has spoken? Even thus has he spoken. And Abraham answered his son Isaac and said unto thee, Take hence of him, and do not listen to his words, nor attend to him, for he is Satan, endeavoring to draw us aside this day for the commands of God. And Abraham still rebuked Satan, and Satan went from him. Where was the part when it says Satan was afraid of his voice? That's the part, that's the kicker. I'm pissed because it don't say that. It says, seeing he could not prevail over him, he hid himself from hence and went and passed before them in the road. He transformed himself to a large broad of water in the road. And Abraham and what the hell? Satan, you're really something. You're really something. Oh, never mind. I see it. Y'all see it? It says Abraham and Isaac and his two young men reached that place, and they saw a brook large and powerful as mighty waters. I don't understand that. And they entered the brook and passed through it. And the water at first reached their legs. And they were deeper in the brook, and the waters reached up to their necks, and they were all terrified on account of the water. And while they were going over the brook, Abraham recognized that place, and he knew that there was no water before. Abraham said to his son, I know this place in which there was no brook nor water. Now therefore it is this Satan who does all this to us, to draw us aside this day from the commands of God. Here you go. And Abraham rebuked him and said unto him, The Lord rebuke thee, O Satan. Be gone from us, for we go by the commands of God. And Satan was terrified at the voice of Abraham, and went away from them, and the place again became dry land as it was at first. Sometimes you just gotta know your environment. When you know your environment, Satan can't trick you. Like seriously. And Abraham went with Isaac toward. Okay. You know what? Okay. We're gonna keep reading. And Abraham went with Isaac towards the place that God has told him. And on the third day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place at distance which God has told him of. And the pillar of fire appeared to Abraham that reached from the earth to heaven, and a cloud of glory upon the mountain, and the glory of the Lord was seen in the cloud. And Abraham said to Isaac, My son, doest thou see in that mountain which we perceive at the distance, that which I see upon it? And Abraham answered and said unto him, I see, and lo, a pillar of fire in the cloud, and the glory of the Lord seen upon the cloud. And Abraham knew that his son Isaac was accepted before the Lord for a burnt offering. Okay, let's stop here. We're gonna stop at 47, and we're gonna read 47, but we're gonna read the rest. And they answered and said, and we see nothing more than like the other mountains of. Wait, hold on, I skipped something. My bad. And Abraham said unto Eleazar and unto Ishmael his son, Do you also see that which we see upon the mountain which is at a distance? And they answered and said, We see nothing more than like the other mountains of the earth. And Abraham knew that they were not accepted before the Lord to go with them. And Abraham said to them, Abide ye here with the ass, the donkey, while I and Isaac my son will go to yonder mount and worship there before the Lord, and then return to you. We're gonna get to Satan, because Satan ain't done yet. Ooh. Satan is not done. No, 72, because Satan appears again. At this ram was advancing. Okay. Hold on. For the Lord has prepared this ram from from that day to be a burnt offering instead of Isaac. And this ram was advancing to Abraham when Satan came a hold of him, and taking his horn in the twinkle that he may not advance to Abraham, ordered that Abraham might slay his son. And Abraham, seeing the ram advancing to him, and Satan withholding him, cheater, fetched him and brought him before the altar. And he loosened his son Isaac from his binding, and put the ram in his stead. And Abraham killed the ram upon the altar, and brought it up as an offering in the place of his son Isaac. We're going to skip there. What we're going to say. And Satan went to Sarah and appeared to her in the figure of an old man, very humble and meek. And Abraham was not engaged in the burnt offering before the Lord. And he said unto her, Doest thou not know all the work that Abraham had made with thy only son this day? I'm just checking for my comment section, but I see no comments in the live chat, so we're going to keep reading. It said, With thy only son this day, for he has took Isaac and built an altar and killed him and brought him up as a sacrifice unto the altar. And Isaac cried and wept before his father. But he looked not at him, neither did he have compassion over him. It says, And Satan repeated these words, he went away from her. And Satan heard all the words of Satan. She imagined him to be an old man from among the sons of men who had been with her son, and had come and told her these things. And Satan lifted up her voice and wept and cried out bitterly on account of her son. And she threw herself upon the ground, and she cast dust upon her head, and she said, O my son Isaac, my son, oh, that I had this day died instead of thee. And she continued to weep and said, It grieved me for thee, O my son Isaac. Oh, that I have died this day in thy stead. And she still continued to weep and said, It grieves me for thee, after that I reached thee and have brought thee up. Now my joy is turned into mourning over thee. I that have had a longing for thee, and cried and prayed to God till I bare thee at 90 years old. Now hast thou served this day for a knife and a fire to be made an offering. Whew! For I console myself with thee, my son, and in its being the word of the Lord. For thou hast performed the command of thy God. For who can transgress the word of our God, in whose hands in whose in whose hand in his soul of every living creature? Thou art just, O Lord my God, for all thy works are good and righteous. For also am rejoiced with thy word, which thou did command, and was my eyes weak, bitterly my heart. Sarah laid her head upon the bosom of one of her handmaids, and she became stiff as a stone. We're going to skip now. Oh, no, we're going to keep reading. Fine. She afterwards rose up and went about making inquiries till she came to Hebron, and she inquired of all those who she met walking in the road, and no one could tell her what had happened to her son. And she came with her maidservants and manservants to Key in the Bog, which is Hebron, and she asked concerning her son. And she remained there while she sent some of her servants to seek where Abraham had gone with Isaac. They went to seek him in the house of Shem and Eber, and they could not find him. And they sought throughout the land, and he was not there. And behold, Satan came to Sarah in the shape of an old man. And he came and stood before her. And he said unto her, I spoke falsely unto thee, for Abraham did not kill his son, and he did not die, and he is not dead. And when she heard the word, her joy was exceedingly violent. What does this mean? Who killed her? To say you killed her exceedingly violent on account of her son. That her soul went out through joy. She died and was gathered to her people. What happened? Okay, so we read all of that. That's Satan. That's the part of Satan. I really wanted y'all to read that part. I think I should have stopped at 18 or something. But no, we're not. Okay, so where did we stop at, Jubilees? Okay, and he came to the well of the water, and he said to his young. Okay, no, we read that. And he took the wood of the burnt offering, laid it on Isaac his son, and he took his hand the fire and the knife, and they went both of them together to that place. And Isaac said to his father, Father, he said, Here I am, my son. He said unto him, Behold, the fire and the knife and the wood. But where is the sheep for the burnt offering, father? And he said, God will provide for himself a sheep for the burnt offering, my son. And he drew near to the place of the mount of God. And he built an altar, and he placed the wood on the altar, and bound Isaac his son. And he placed him on the wood which was upon the altar, and stretched forth his hand to take the knife to slay Isaac his son. And I stood before him, and before the prince Mushtema, and the Lord said, Bind him not to lay his lie thy but bid him not to lay his hand on the lad, nor do anything to him. For I have shown that he has feared the Lord. And he called to him from heaven and said unto him, Abraham, Abraham. And he was terrified and said, Behold, here I am. He said, and he said unto him, Lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything to him. For now I have shown that I have fears the Lord, and has not withheld thy son, thy firstborn son, from me. The prince Mustapha was put to shame, and Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, a ram, and caught by his horn. And Abraham went, took the ram, and offered it for a burnt offering instead of his son. And Abraham called that place the Lord has seen, so that it is said in the mount that the Lord has seen, that is Mount Zion. And the Lord called Abraham by his name a second time from heaven, as he called us to appear to speak to him in the name of the Lord. And he said, My son, have I sworn? Have I sworn? Okay, he said, By myself have I sworn, says the Lord, because thou hast done this thing. Thou hast not withheld thy son, thy beloved son, from me. That in blessing I will bless thee, and multiplying I will multiply thy seed, as the stars of heaven, and as the sand which is on the seashores. And thy seed shall inherit the cities of its enemies, and in thy seed shall all nations of earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. And I have shown to all that thou art faithful unto me, and all that I have said unto thee. Go in peace. And Abraham went to his young men, and rose, and went together to Beersheba. And Abraham dwelt by well of oath, and he celebrated this festival every year 7 days with joy. And he called the festival of the Lord according to the 7 days, during which he went and returned in peace. And accordingly has been ordained and written on the heavenly tablets regarding Israel, and its seed, that they should observe this festival 7 days with the joy of festival. 19. We almost done, y'all. Let's see. How much time is this? It's probably 2 hours now. Going on 2 hours. So I told y'all this was gonna be long. I knew it. Okay. Dad, comment below. Comment, y'all. Have y'all learned something? Whether one person I'm talking to, have you learned something new? In the first year of the first week in the 42nd Jubilee, Abraham returned in the well opposite Hebron, that Karja Rabbah, 2 weeks of the year. In the first year of the third week of this Jubilee, the days of the life of Sarah were accomplished, and she died in Hebron. And Abraham went to mourn over her and buried her, and we tried him to see if his spirit were patient, and he were not indignant in the words of his mouth, and he was found patient in this, and was not disturbed. For patience of spirit, he conversed with the children of Heth, to the intent that they should give him a place in which to bury his dead. And the Lord gave him grace before all who saw him, and he besought in gentleness the son of Heth, and they gave him the land of the double cave over against Moram. This is Hebrew, for 400 pieces of silver. And they besought him, saying, we shall give it to thee for nothing, for free. But he would not take it from their hands for nothing. For he gave the price of the place, the money and food. He bowed down before them twice. And after this he buried his dead in the double cave. And all the days of the life of Sarah was 127 years. That is 2 jubilees and 4 weeks and 1 year. These are the days of the year of the life of Sarah. This is the 10th trial wherewith Abraham was tried, and he was found faithful, patient in spirit. He said not a single word regarding the rumor in the land, how that God had said that he would give it to him and to his seed after him. He begged a place there to bury his dead, for he was found faithful and was recorded on the heavenly tablets as the friend of God. And don't you know that song? I'm a friend of God. I'm a friend of God. I'm a friend of God. He called me friend. You don't read. Okay. In the 4th year thereof, he took a wife for his son Isaac, and her name was Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Namor, the brother of Abraham, the sister of Lamor, the daughter of Bethuel, and Bethuel was the son of Michas, and who was the name of Nahor, the brother of Abraham. And Abraham took a third wife, and her name was Qatar. My bad. I'm sorry, Qatar. Her name was Qatar. Man, this sounds like a black name. It really do. From among the daughters of his household servants. For Hagar had died before Sarah, and she bare him 6 sons. Oh, okay. Zimram and Jokoshad and Medan and Midian and Shebach and Shua in the 2 weeks of years. In the 6th week, in the 2nd year thereof, Rebekah bare to Isaac 2 sons, Jacob and Esau. Okay, so you know the reason why Jacob is so blessed? This will tell you. Wait, I don't know if it's Jubilees or Joshua. It says, and Jacob was a smooth and upright man, and Esau was fierce, a man of field and hairy, and Jacob dwelt in tents. And the youth grew, and Jacob learned to write, but Esau did not learn, for he was a man of the field and a hunter, and he learned war, and all his deeds was fierce. To be honest, why do Esau low key kind of sound like, I'm not gonna say the Caucasian, I'm not saying the whites, but low key Esau kind of sounds like the Arabs. And Abraham loved Jacob, but Isaac loved Esau. That's why Abraham loved Jacob. Abraham saw the deeds of Esau, and he knew that in Jacob should his name and seed be called. And he called Rebekah right there. And he called Rebekah and gave commandments regarding Jacob, for he knew that she too loved Jacob much more than Esau. And he said unto her, My daughter, watch over my son Jacob, for he shall be in my stead on the earth, for a blessing in midst of the children of men, and for the glory of the whole seed of Shem. For all that the Lord would choose him to be a people for possession unto himself above all peoples that are upon the face of the earth. And behold, Isaac my son loved Esau more than Jacob, but I see that thou truly love Jacob. Add still further to thy kindness to him, and let thy eyes be upon him in love. For he shall be a blessing unto us on the earth from henceforth unto all generations of the earth. Let thy hand be strong, and let thy heart rejoice in thy son Jacob. For I have loved him far beyond all my sons. He shall be blessed forever, and his seed shall fill and his seed shall fill the whole earth. If a man can understand the sand of the earth, his seed also shall be numbered. And all the blessing wherewith the Lord has blessed me, and my seed shall belong to Jacob, and his seed in always. And his seed shall my name be blessed, and my name of my fathers, Shem, Nabal, Enoch, and Maliah, and Enosh, and Seth, and Adam. And these shall serve to lay the foundations of the heavens, and to strengthen the earth, and to renew all the luminaries which are in the firmament. And he called Jacob before the eyes of Rebekah his mother, and kissed him, and blessed him, and said, Jacob, my beloved son, whom my soul loved, may God bless thee from above the firmament, and may he give thee all the blessing wherewith he blessed Adam, Enoch, Noah, and Shem. Maybe that was supposed to be Noah. It says, and all the things of which he told me, and all things which he promised to give me, may he cause to cleave to thee and to thy seed forever, according to the days of heaven above the earth. And the spirits of Mishtim shall not reign over thee, or over their seed to turn thee from the Lord, who is thy God, from hence forever. And may the Lord God be a father to thee, and thou be the firstborn, and to the people always. Go in peace, my son. And they both went forth together from Abraham. And Rebekah loved Jacob, and with all her heart and with all her soul, very much more than Esau. But Isaac loved Esau much more than Jacob. I'm not going to read 20, but let's see what this is talking about. Okay. I'm sorry. We ain't going to skim. Okay, so if you like this video, make sure you give me a like, and ooh, that's dark. You can't see me. Okay, if you like this video, make sure you give me a like, and I'll see you on next time. And God bless. I love each and every one of you. Bye.